Y'all, I have like 2 setups right now going. And forgive me if I'm all over the place because I'm also live on YouTube. But you got to be careful on TikTok because they will ban your stuff and you ain't even did nothing. You ain't did nothing at all. So if y'all see me looking this way, well, this way really, that's because I'm streaming on YouTube also. Because once we get into today's topics, then I'm just gonna drop down and head over to YouTube so I don't get hit with no strikes. Because yeah, when you start talking about conspiracy and all that other stuff, baby, they be getting you. You get a flag, 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 flag. That's why I often do not go live on TikTok. Anyway, what's up, friends? So y'all, I feel like first and foremost, I had me a little mini vacation and I went to the We Dem Ones comedy show and it was good. It was good. I hollered and screamed and everything else. But however, there's 2 words I didn't need. But still, however, the way they did Corey Holcomb was insane. You almost just I feel sorry for him. I know people be like, nah, because he's too controversial. But to be honest, it's just could you imagine being a talent that people are coming to see and they watch everyone else and you are the headliner of the show when they get to your part, they get up and walk out. That would hurt my feelings. And it take a lot of willpower and strength to go on after that because if you get up and walk out on my set, honey, I'm not. I'm not coming back. I'm leaving stage. I'm gonna tell everybody good night. That's it. That's the end of the show. Goodbye. Anyway, other than that, the show was good. I think it was like who was it? Carlos Miller, Bubba Dub, Mike Epps hosted, and then there were like a few other comedians. I think Corey Holcomb was the headliner, and then you had I don't know who's the other guy named Mojo. Mojo Riz, Mojo Brooks. That's who it was. Anyway, it was good, and that's why I've been gone. I had to take me a little break, y'all, because on top of me doing content on social media that I love to do because I love to talk, I love to do that right there. I love to talk about conspiracy. I love to do story times. I love to entertain. I love to talk with y'all because y'all are my friends and we keep it real here. But I do work full time, so sometimes I take a little break and it might be too long. I had to give me a little vacation in, friends, because baby, my mind was like. Anyway, I know y'all seen a few commercial breaks on the TikTok. Baby, the bills got to get paid. We got to do commercial breaks. And I'm not telling y'all nothing that I don't like, okay? The topics for today, friends, if I might say, is this whole pyramid discussion, right? I want to talk about the pyramids. I want to talk about the Ark of the Covenant because, baby, it's just too much going on. And a lot of people think that we are just hiding, right? They're like, oh, y'all just, the government, the people is hiding something from us. Baby, they're telling you in your face. If they hiding anything, it's in plain sight. It's in plain sight, friends, because 2 things can be true. They could be hiding something and they could be telling the truth about something or putting a little partial truth out there because it's about controlling the masses. If I can't control you, I'm not gonna put out no information that's gonna make everybody go crazy, go into a hysteria. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna gauge it. And a lot of the times the stuff that comes out, friends, has been something that's been known for a while. Y'all get me? Like people been knowing about this for a while and then they put it out and it's like, oh, this is new, stories. This is something that's new that's popping up in the news. It's not new. It's not new. So I'm gonna start with the arc first because I found out to be very, very interesting. If y'all don't know, and I'm sharing my screen on YouTube, friends, on my friends on TikTok. So if y'all want to see, just jump over. It's Mo Graham Crackers on every platform. Every platform. I'll be on Twitch and all those other things soon, but it's Mo Graham Crackers everywhere. Let me go to my comments, friends. Let me put my comments up. Oh, hey, Roll 'em out. Hey, friend. Hey. Okay, so if y'all have not seen, let me show this to y'all really quick. I know I'm a few days behind, but baby, we're gonna get the news anyway. It don't matter. It does not matter. Boom. Okay, let me show y'all this really quick. So the CIA reportedly claims remote viewer identified the Ark of the Covenant guarded by mysterious entities. Baby, when I saw that was right after they did the whole pyramid thing. They talked about the pyramids. We're gonna keep it separate. Let me stay on this train right here. CIA reportedly claims that remote viewers identified the Ark of the Covenant. Now, here's what most people don't know about this post. Most people don't know that this happened in 1988. This is not new. This happened in 1988. Matter of fact, back in the 70s, there was a whole Stargate CIA operation dedicated to remote viewing. They've been studying people who have the ability to remote view. What is remote viewing? It's so much stuff in this world that's unexplainable, or things that we have no control over, that we can't really say what it means. And it scares folks, and they'll say things like they're not real. Now, I'm not here to confirm whether it's real or fake. I'm just going to tell you what I had heard, okay? Because, baby, folks, people end up missing and suing stuff. I don't got time for all of that. But I feel like, personally, in my opinion, there's a lot of things that happen in here where folks will deem you crazy, or because they feel like they can't prove it, they'll say it's not real. And the whole time, that's not true. Thank y'all for the gift. Thank you, KWA. I'm trying to scoot this over so y'all can hear me on the microphone too. All right, so remote viewing. Medical science will refer to it as sleep paralysis. Baby, if you ever had sleep paralysis, that's a fear that I can't even explain. I have never in my life felt a fear like the type of fear that I've had having sleep paralysis. Do you hear me? Sleep paralysis is a whole nother beast, but it's the same thing as remote viewing. When you really get into it, sleep paralysis and remote viewing is the exact same thing. You just don't know that's what's happening, okay? Until you get a grasp on reality and you realize, hey, I have a gift. Hey, I'm doing something that is spiritual, right? Hey, friend. Hey, Fancy. That's when you realize, oh, okay, this gets deep. So when you have sleep paralysis, you get afraid, right? And so scientists will say, well, you're afraid because you wake up and your body is still paralyzed to keep you from swinging your arms and flailing and doing all of that. That could be true. And it also could be true that in this stage that you're in, you're seeing something that's spiritual. You'll see entities, shadow people, all kinds of things. And it's a fear that when you say it's paralyzing, no, it's literally like you thinking this is it. Sometimes you hear loud noises in your ears. It could be high-pitched ringing. Normally that's associated with happy things. But the low vibrational, like boom, loud thunder in your ear, you feel like your eardrum's gonna bust. You feel like they're gonna bust open. But it's not a physical pain or a physical sound. It's like inside of your brain almost. So when you do that, if you were to relax, it's almost like you have an out-of-body experience. Right. You become afraid, friends. You have an out-of-body experience where you literally can just pop right out and just view things. And people who are into spirituality will refer to this as astral projecting or being on the astral plane. The CIA refers to it as remote viewing or parapsychological, something like parapsychological. Right, it's scary. It can be scary until you stop being afraid. It sounds crazy. When you're not afraid, you don't attract the things that like fear, right? I'm not the expert on this. I'm just telling y'all my experience. Some people use it in witchcraft. When they say like witches will come watch you and see what you're doing, stuff like that. Like there's so many different ways that this thing is used, but above all of that, friends, you are not just physical. You're not just physical. You're not just a physical being. Right? Okay, your son does it unintentionally. It happens. It happens a lot. But you're not just a physical being. You're also a soul, which will be considered spiritual, like the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. But I'm not gonna get into all of that. Anyway, so during the 70s, the CIA realized, wait a minute, some people have this gift, or some people are able to access this gift of being able to have an out-of-body experience. So of course, in true USA fashion, what do? We try to figure out a way to leverage that. How can we leverage this to see what the enemy is doing? So what they do? They started a whole operation. If you look it up, it's declassified. But the way they do declassified documents, y'all, is give you 900 pages at once to read in T90 font. And they know the average person, me and you, are not about to get through there with a magnifying glass and view nothing like this. We waiting for somebody to put it all together and tell us what happened. Because nobody, you think I'm about to sit here and try to read the little fine print and understand what you're saying when you're writing in a Shakespeare format sometimes? So if you go out there and look us out there, look up the Stargate declassified CIA documents, you will see that apparently there was some truth to this, so much so that the CIA had to create a whole operation for it. Now, why would they waste money, tax dollars or whatever, studying something that is fairy tale? You know, something that's Barney. If it's not real, you don't see them studying purple people eaters because it ain't real, right? So look, this whole CIA view claims the remote viewer saw the Ark of the Covenant, and the Ark of the Covenant was being guarded by mysterious entities. That happened in 1988, December 5th, 1988. And that's not all there's to it. Apparently the person, they sent several people. They'll have several people look up different inanimate objects or just random places. And that person said that they can see this box, this wooden old box covered in gold and silver. And apparently it was supposed to be somewhere in the Middle East being guarded by two mysterious entities that only had the ability to open the box. And if anybody else opened the box, the entities were going to send them on to glory. Maybe they won't go to glory. They might go somewhere else. But that is what they reported back in 1988. So why would it take this long for them to tell us if it's fake? Why would it take that long for them to tell us that somebody found something like this if it's fake? Hey, Moon. Hey, friend. If it's not real, why not just tell us right away? Like, look at this Looney Tune cartoon stuff. This ain't real. Is it real or is it fake? I don't know. Y'all have to tell me if y'all think it's real that these people actually, well, actually, it's person number 32, and they call it the surname or the cover up name, alias name is Professor or Mr. McGonagall, like Professor McGonagall. If y'all think it's real and that they actually saw the Ark of the Covenant, put a 1 in the chat. If you think it's fake, just put a 2. I'm not going to judge you, whatever you think. So for a long time, they have been saying that the Ark of the Covenant was supposedly in Ethiopia in the town or the city. I'm sorry, not town, but the city of Axum. 1. Y'all think it's real? Okay. I'm not here to judge you. 2, roll them out. You're going to have to tell us. What did you investigate and find out, friend? Now, listen. For a long time, they said that it was being guarded in this church called like the Church of Our Lady Mary in Axum, Ethiopia. And y'all know Ethiopia has some of the oldest Bible because it's one of the only countries that's like, I don't know, it hasn't been colonized. So, or not in so long, but they have the oldest Bible, and in their Bible it has, you skeptical and believe in it. Keep listening, friends. But in their Bible, it has the characters painted brown, right? It has pictures of brown people. Okay. And that's like one of the oldest Bibles that hadn't been like tainted or changed up and stuff like that. It also still carries the book of Enoch. So y'all just got to go and check it out. Just go check it out for yourself. However, in this same, well, I won't say same, in another controlled environment where we see the CIA testing people and their abilities to astral project or remote view. I don't think it's anywhere. I believe it was destroyed. Okay. That's a fair thought. But in another investigation, they had subjects to go to different places. And what they would do is when the person goes to sleep, they astral project, they would have them go look at a piece of paper to tell them what number was on the paper, right? There was one person that found an underground military installation. This is called the West Virginia site. The person astral projected to an underground military installation, told them what the person at the front desk was wearing, what that person's name was, went in and described the entire underground base. Now, here's the kicker to this. This is in the CIA documents that they did this, friends. that this person astral projected and got it right. The person got it right so much so that they launched a security investigation at this underground installation that nobody knew about except for the people who had clearance for it. Even the CIA operatives that was doing this study, they didn't even know about the installation. And this is all in declassified documents of them admitting that these type of things have happened. And they say that there isn't enough, friends. They said there's not enough instances of this happening for us to deem that this is real or not real. I'm just telling y'all, it's declassified. It's out there from the 70s. This Ark of the Covenant situation that happened in the 80s. Here we are in the year of our Lord 2025. The year of our Lord 2025, and they just now telling us what they did. How can they do it purposely? I've only had outer body experiences by mistake. I'm not the expert on it, friend, but what I will say is that people learn to control it when they get a handle on their fear. Right? And also in these same CIA studies, there are other documents, and I have these somewhere. I got to find them. That I read. I think I did a story on TikTok about this not too long ago, where there was a professor that did it and he didn't come back because he fell in love with somebody on the astral plane. But there are entities allegedly out there that can keep you from coming back. Because you think when you spirit walk, when you fall asleep and you leave your body and you go do stuff somewhere else, you leave your body open to other entities that don't have a physical vessel, right? Which is why we shouldn't do these things. I think when the time comes for us to go on to glory and to see God, we're going to know all things. Because we're going to be back with him as one. We're going to know all things. And I think here we're supposed to come and learn how to love. Y'all know how I feel about that. But, you know, it just make you wonder, what else are they not telling us? I don't think they're telling us this to hide anything. It's mograhamcrackers@gmail.com. You can send in any tips, or collab invites, stuff like that, promos. Go to my mograhamcrackers@gmail.com email address. Roll them out. The first time you did it was all white light. It's different experiences for people, right? But science will make you believe that it's your frontal cortex, it's your spinal bifida. I don't know. They'll say different things. I know that's not a real thing. I'm just saying they'll just tell you different things of what it is scientifically speaking to try and constantly discredit what the Bible tells us. It's so many things out here that keep coming to the light that people have been saying and speculating about for years. And these are the same people with the same gifts. Everybody, God don't give gifts grudgingly. People have gifts, whether they saved, not saved, Christian, Hindu, whatever you are. It don't matter what your beliefs are. People have gifts. They have spiritual gifts, spiritual foresight, things they can see, things they can hear, things they can sense. Like, you're not just a physical being. We're not just physical creatures. So, just my thoughts on that. So when you go look at the declassified documents, you'll see that there was intensive studying done on people with remote viewing capabilities. And of course, there are some people who didn't get it right, and there were some people who did get it right. But you have to ask yourself, everybody's gift is not tuned where it needs to be, right? You got all these distractions. You got things from the outside world. You got dreams and all kinds of things you didn't see on TV that's distracting you. So in some of those cases, they were telling people like, hey, you ain't get it right this time. So they'll say, well, this wasn't right. And that goes to the proof of, is remote viewing true or not? And then there's those that got it right. And anytime you see, hey, Jennifer, hey, Nikki, anytime you see that someone got it right, and so much so, like I said, at that installation that's underground, that they had to launch a security investigation because they thought they had a breach. They thought the person had been there or someone had told them something. But then they realized that was impossible because that person didn't even know what they were going to be looking for when they came to do this study, to do this sleep study, to do remote viewing. They didn't know what they were going to be looking for When you get there, they tell you, and then everybody look for something different. That's how they also controlled it. I look for the remote underground installation. You look for the Arby's on Highway 1. You go over here, look at the library. You know what I'm saying? Olivia, hey friend. Hey friend, my friend Olivia in the chat, y'all. That is my girl. But everybody had a different thing to look at. So again, what are we hiding? What is the powers that be hiding? What are they hiding by releasing this information about the CIA, claiming that they had someone to confirm where the Ark of the Covenant is? I don't think they're hiding anything. I think that we get little bits and pieces of information to come out a little bit at a time, just to gauge the response. That's why there's clearance levels to things, right? That's why we have clearances and who can know what in the military and in these different operations, and that's why you have classifications. What's declassified, what's not. Can't release everything to the public at one time because it becomes what they would call, I'm not even gonna say it because I feel like TikTok is gonna ding my video. I might end up dropping off TikTok friends and just staying over here on these YouTube streets because TikTok will shut you down. Right. So anyway, friends, if I'm not getting your comments because I'm streaming on 2 platforms, I'm not intentionally ignoring you. Because I love y'all. I'm just trying to get the information out that I have. But look up Stargate, guys. Stargate, 1970s, parapsychological is what they call it, remote viewing. It's interesting. It's an interesting read. And there's a lot of documents that you see where they wrote down what the people saw. So that's interesting. I don't know. I can't tell you for sure if the remote viewer saw it or if they didn't. I do believe that people can remote view. I do believe people have that gift. But I can either confirm or deny if this is real. I'm going to have y'all weigh in on that and tell me what y'all think. Thank you for the gifts, friends. Anyway, so moving on to the next topic. One of my very favorites. Let me show y'all this. So I'm sure y'all have seen this. I'm going to try to pull it up so y'all can see it. Let me share my screen real quick, guys. Boom. Here we go. So I'm sure y'all have seen this. If you have not seen this, let me tell you what it is. Baby, they done found some stuff up underneath the pyramids. Okay? They done found some stuff up underneath the pyramids. And y'all know when it comes to things like this, they are going to say it's not real. And don't y'all find that strange? Don't y'all find it strange that every time something big comes up that can change the trajectory of history, of how we look at things, of what the pyramids were used for, they say, oh, it's not real. The main reason they're saying that this, what you're seeing right here, and I'm going to explain it to you. The main reason they're saying that that's not real is because they said it has not been studied amongst independent experts. So I done found something. And you're going to tell me that it's not real because multiple people in my field haven't come behind me to check to make sure what I saw was real. I'm showing you the picture evidence of it, and you're telling me it's not real. So basically, let me tell you what happened. So these, I don't want to say they're Egyptologists. Let's just call them researchers, okay? Just for just for me to save face, because I've read this article multiple times, but it's the end of the day, y'all, and I just got back from my little mini vacation, okay? And I'm a little bit tired, throat a little bit dry, but I said I'm gonna call y'all. So forgive me. These researchers decided to use satellite technology to beam signals down to the pyramids of Giza, right? And receive the information back. And when they received the information back, they converted the signal into sound waves. And they got this image, okay? This image shows under the pyramid Khafre. So there's 3 great pyramids of Giza, but under the Khafre pyramid, they saw these columns, like, these anomalies of something going directly down up underneath the pyramid. Now, I know we're a creature of habits, and I know we like to find the patterns and everything, but there are certain patterns that nature just does not create. There are certain patterns that nature just does not create. I don't think people are grasping that. Oh, so you can see my screen. Hey, how do you say that, Tasia? Hey, Tasia, hey, friend. I don't think people are grasping that there are certain shapes that nature doesn't create. So these columns go down. Y'all check this out. The columns go down 2,000 feet, over 2,000 feet underneath the pyramids. Now, how long have you been hearing people? Now, maybe just me. Maybe because I'm in the conspiracy streets and I like the conspiracies. How long have you been hearing people saying that there's something underneath the pyramids, that there are pyramids under the pyramids, that there is something under the pyramids holding them up? I've been hearing that for a while. So in this picture right here in the middle, okay, this is the pyramid, Khafre pyramid at the top, right up underneath. Well, actually not at the top. The pyramid is over this. These are the columns going all the way down. So the signals sent this back to the satellites. This is what beamed back. This is what Scotty beamed back. And there are 8 of these underneath the pyramid of Khafre in Giza. And not only is it a column, but there are spirals going down around these columns. You get what I'm saying? When did nature do that? These look like energy conductors. And then you start looking back at some of the things like Tesla. Tesla thought the pyramids were wireless energy conductors. Thank you for the gift, friends. He thought the pyramids were wireless energy conductors. There has been supposedly soot found inside the pyramids. Now, we were told, what I had been told, what they had told me in the schoolhouse, was that the pyramids were used to bury the pharaohs. Hey, LeBron's unicorn. Hey, friend, come on in the room. They said the pyramids were used to bury the pharaohs. Now, when I had did my Google search, now I had went to the University of Google, and I love the Google search. They told me it won't no pharaohs in none of the great pyramids. Now, I don't know. Maybe I misread. If I got the information wrong, friends, y'all tell me, please. I don't mind being corrected. But they told me it won't no pharaohs in there. So what were they using it for? Now, hear me out because I'm going somewhere with this. It's 2,100 feet down, and then there's another block underneath these columns. So 4 columns has a block holding it up, and then another 4 columns has a block holding it up. All 8 of the columns are under the pyramid, holding up the pyramid, which makes sense, right? Because the pyramid just sitting on the desert floor, and they say it sink a little bit at a time. But for what? These pyramids were here before Jesus. Jesus was 2,000 years ago. The pyramids were about 8,000, 6,000, and when there is, it's a lot of thousands of years to still be sitting on top of the ground with all the dust storms, earthquakes, all kinds of stuff going on. They're still there. Would it make sense? Would it make sense that maybe there was something underneath them? But 2,000 feet is insane, y'all. And then the blocks that they're sitting on is another 1,000 so feet or however many feet. That's insane, y'all. My face right here is itching like I'm getting like a rash right here. So y'all keep scratching. I promise I don't do none of the cocaine. I don't do that. But wouldn't that make sense? Now, here's why I do believe this. Y'all can call me crazy, call me a conspiracy theorist. I don't care. They said the same thing to me when I told them that they was doing chemtrails and all that in the sky. They was like, no, that's not true. Okay. Anyway, here's why I believe this is real. This is a similar format to how we actually map the ocean floors. Okay. The bodies are in the valley of the dead. Okay, thank you, friend. Thank you, Sharon. Or Sharon. Is that Sharon? This satellite imagery is how we map the ocean floors. Not only do we use boats and ships to do it, but we use the satellites to bounce off sound waves to show us what's at the bottom of the ocean. You think somebody down there with a yardstick? You think somebody's swimming down there to the Mariana Trench trying to figure out what's down there? No, we are using radar technology, satellite technology, LiDAR technology. So why can't we do that up underneath a pyramid? Why we got to be the fools when the conspiracy turns out to be not a conspiracy? Here we go, a little bit of salt and pepper to gauge and see how people doing. Let me just sprinkle a little bit of stuff out there and see how people take it. We even had one scientist to tell me, well, not me, because now I'm getting personal, right? Like I talked to him on the phone. The scientist told me, he told me nothing, but he said in his response to this finding is that, it could be some beams up underneath the pyramid, but they're not that long. They're not that deep. Why not? Why not? So that leads me to my next point. We use this technology when we mapping out the ocean floors. We can tell you what's on another planet, in another galaxy, in another universe. I'm exaggerating when I say universe. But baby, we know what Pluto looked like. But our technology ain't good enough to tell you what's up underneath the pyramid. I know it's a different way of taking pictures, friends. But let's be real. We got satellites that if you point it in one direction for so long, you can see back to the beginning stages of the universe. But these two satellites that they use to get these pictures I'm showing y'all on the screen, no, not real. So the researchers said what they did with these two satellites is they put them like this. They beamed one from this side and then they beamed another from this side. And they used those two to make sure that the data was not wrong. So if I got one satellite showing me something and I say, look, y'all, I done found out some stuff, I can't really confirm. But if I got one satellite showing something and another satellite showing the same thing, baby, we got facts. Baby, we got facts. We cooking with grease now. Cause how they both lying? And how did both of the satellites come back with such an accurate depiction of something like this going straight down? You see these coils, so the red, the yellow, and the blue, that's the satellite imagery. And then, they just put a little diagram together right here to show us what it would look like. You know what I'm saying? Are y'all following? Okay, now I'm about to move on a little bit further. I'm gonna see if I can find this picture. So another part to this is not only did they see that, they claimed that they also found proof of water up underneath the pyramids. You can, Fancy, you can go on over there, friend. They found proof of water, right? So that kind of made me think of like some type of hydraulic system. I don't know, just me modernizing what it could have been. I think it's far beyond what I understand. But then they also said deep down underneath there, baby, they had found a city. You mean like inner earth? You mean like Lacerda, the Lacerda files with the lizard people inside the earth? Oh, you mean like when we see UFO evidence, video footage of UFOs coming up out of the water, coming out of inside of the earth or going down into the earth? Oh, you mean like Derinkuyu in Turkey, right? Turkey, one of the oldest civilizations, right after Sumer. Sumer was what, 11,000 years ago. Turkey was like 8. I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta drink some water. So Turkey was like 8,000, and then Sumer was like 11,000. What was in Turkey? Gobekli Tepe, I think. I'm digging back and dusting off the files in the back of my brain, friends. But in Turkey, they have an underground civilization, proof of one. Rooms. It goes down, what, 200 feet or something like that. And then the Lacerda files, she says that that's the entrance to inner earth. Now, I get it. I get it that this could be fiction, right? This could be sci-fi. But everybody ain't lying. They getting these ideas from somewhere. Right. What's beneath the pyramids? That's right. Oh, yes, friends. If you're looking at me on TikTok, I'm on YouTube and I was sharing my screen. Let me see if I can find this picture of this underground city, y'all, because y'all not gonna believe this if y'all didn't see it. Hold on. I thought I had it pulled up. Okay. Let me see if I can find it. Oh no, where is it? Don't tell me they already trying to shadow ban this stuff. And it looks okay, y'all. I'm gonna try to find it, but let me talk y'all through it. Let me talk you through it. So not only did they see these structures on a satellite, but they found this thing that looks like a city up underneath the pyramids. And that was like 4,000 feet down into the earth. That's a long ways down, friends. This city, shown on the map, looks like a city you would see from a plane when you're flying over it. Now, this is why this makes sense to me. Admiral Byrd, y'all know I always go back to Admiral Byrd. Admiral Byrd said that he experienced flying into inner Earth where they had their own sun, everything. It was like being on top of the planet. Why can't that exist? Why can't we see that as being true when we see the satellite taking the images of it? What is it then? If it's not water and it's not columns holding up the pyramid, what's this other stuff that they found down there? It's a picture of it. Right, Jamie? There's a picture of it. Admiral Byrd said they had their own sun. They had a landing strip. There were beings down there. I don't want to misquote him and say reptilian, but he definitely said there was different types of beings down there. Oh wait, I think I found it. Hold on, guys. Boom, I found it. I wonder, can I make it big? I be scared to click on stuff, y'all, because you be done clicked on something, then boom, your computer shut down, honey. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, yeah, it's taking too long to load. Okay, let me share my screen one more time, y'all, and I'll show y'all what I'm talking about. This underground city. Is this the one I'm on? Yeah. Boom. I'm gonna try to zoom it. Can y'all see this? That didn't help nothing. This right here. I want to click on it, but then it goes like and do some crazy stuff. Can y'all see this blue right here? I hope y'all can. So, oh, because this is so good. I wish I could blow this picture up. Why is it being like this? Okay. So let me try. Okay, y'all can see it, LeBron. Okay, you can see it. Hey, Fancy. Okay, so boom. Up here is those 8 columns, right? This almost looks like an elevator shaft. It almost looks like an elevator shaft, friends. I'm not playing with y'all. It's nothing new under the sun. That's all I'm just saying. This is the 8 columns, right? And it coming all the way down. I don't know if that's the 8 columns or that's the top, the pyramid here. But you see this long thing coming all the way down. And then down here, what is this? What is this? This is inside the earth. Okay, guys. I'm gonna have to end my TikTok stream because they hit me with violations and I ain't did nothing. I don't know what it is, but I'm on YouTube, so I'm gonna end this so I don't get banned. Hold up, y'all. Okay, so I'm back because I told y'all how TikTok be like, what? I don't know what kind of. Okay. Anyway, so this is the whole place right here. So this thing comes down, and then this is where they're saying that there's cities down here. Okay. This is 4,000 feet beneath the surface of the earth, beneath the top layer. What is this? Why are we discrediting this? This is some of the same technology we use to map the bottom of the ocean floor, and we will say that that's real. We'll say that's for sure. The Mariana Trench is for sure deep, and that's what's going on over there. If y'all missed it, I'll pull it back up for y'all. But also another thing that helps me that supports my theory that this is real is, what did they just do in China? Did they not just create a fake sun? Do we not create our own, what is it called? Nuclear fission, fusion. That's what happens on the sun. Did China not just do that on top of the surface? Create like the hottest temperature ever. That's something that's been created at CERN. And for the longest you've been hearing, it's funny, we joke about it. What, Tupac didn't go away. He actually went into inner earth, and all of these reptilian people are leading Hollywood and trying to control the narrative on the surface of the earth. There's this book that I read. where there's a story about the war between these two different, I won't say alien because it makes it too sci-fi, beings that was on the planet, and they were of reptilian descent, and they had certain devices and powers that helped them to build the pyramids, and they left the planet, and the bad ones that were left here stayed on the planet, and they tried to control and try to continue to build it, but they ran out of what they needed to build the pyramids. So they just stay in the earth, and sometimes around a full moon they control people telepathically to do things, like make them do bad things. I don't know, that's just another thing, that's something that maybe somebody made up, or is it true? Who knows? Now, another point that I wanted to make, friends, is it possible, stay with me, is it possible that the pyramids were not built from the ground up? Maybe we're looking at the top. Hold on now, let me show y'all one more time. Let me share my screen again so y'all can see what I'm talking about. If I could blow this up, I should have screenshotted this, friends, and pulled it up, but I really ain't think I was going to go here with it. That ain't really no better. But maybe we look at it as this is where we started building the pyramids, and supposedly had 200,000 people all together in the same place at the same time, pulling rock that was quarried from 500 miles away. The limestone, the rock that the pyramids are built out of, is not even available on the land that it's built on. You got to go 500 miles down the Nile to get it and bring it back to bury pharaohs that we haven't seen inside of the pyramids yet. But maybe the pyramid was built from down here, from 4,000 feet, 2,000 feet down, up. And y'all got to stay on this train with me, because y'all know how sometimes the ADHD kick in and I jump from one train to the next. I'm just going to hold on to another train and tell y'all to bring these two together. Maybe in Lacerda Files, in the Anunnaki stories, they say that we are not the first creation of mankind. That does not discount God. That does not discount God, Yahweh. That does not discount who God is. That just means that there are other things that happen in the timeline of humanity besides what shows up in the Bible. Just my thought, friend. Don't run with it. Don't go call it law, but just my thought. What if, like the Lacerda Files, like the Younger Dryas theory that says that there is always this big restart? Okay. And Lacerda says we are the seventh creation of mankind. The Anunnaki stories say that they tried to engineer humans to do X, Y, and Z, and they couldn't get it done. So they created another version, another version, another version. What if, hear me out, still talking about Lacerda Files, it could be fake, but just listen. What if the sixth generation of mankind built the pyramids, which would have been more than 10,000 years ago? But what if they built the pyramids? And then you have things that happen like in the Bible, which is the Great Flood, that comes along and floods the entire earth, destroys all of mankind, and then the water resides. What happens? The earth is moving. The dirt, the crust, the whatever is flooded, it's gonna move. Mudslides or landmass is gonna change. And all of this gets covered up. Okay? Just a thought. Just hear me out. Y'all staying with me? I'm not saying it's real. Just my thought. It's how my brain working. So let's say all of this gets covered up. And then the people who come back on the surface, or who survive, or however mankind restarted, Noah's offspring, his children's generation of children, and so forth, they come and they find it, but it's covered up because there's been a flood, and there's not dirt, but now there's sand there. And where do we see places with sand? We see deserts that have sand. Of course, Antarctica doesn't have sand. It's dry. That's not how a desert is defined by sand. It's by the rain, the amount of rain it gets. But there's sand there. Where else do we find sand? We find sand at the beach, under the ocean. And you know what I'm saying? In the ocean, on the bottom. You see that they found like whale bones in the Sahara or one of those deserts. I'm gonna have to go back and look. But you see that there is evidence that some of these places, like the Grand Canyon and some of these deserts, used to contain water. The Reshot structure, the Eye of the Sahara. There not is it whale bones? There is, let's just say there's skeletal remains of aquatic life in these deserts. So let's just say the desert came and covered up the structure. I mean, the flood came, and when the waters resided, the bottom of the pyramids were covered up, right? And maybe that our generation of mankind saw the tops of the pyramids and undug them to this point and said, wow, we'll say that we created these and we built these, and we're going to put our marking on it. I don't know. Just a thought, right, LeBron? Listen, fancy. That's how I feel. I don't know, just a thought. What if that's what happened? That does not mean that the Bible is not true. That just further confirms the big flood. I don't know, just me thinking. Now, also, let's jump to the scientific side of things, right? We're talking about things that is recorded in the Bible, things that's maybe sci-fi. Let's talk about the pole shifts. That's the Younger Dryas theory, that every 11,000 years or so, you have a pole shift that causes a traumatic, a global catastrophe where life restarts, right? Do y'all know that we're still in the ice age right now? We are still in the ice age, and the ice age is cyclical. Every 11,000 years, we go through a freeze, unfreeze. We're on the end of that 11,000 years now, where we're unthawing, right? I don't know. It's just so many things that kind of come together to make you think, is it that the pyramids were built on the top of the surface and then they just dug up all the ground 2,000 feet down and created these columns to support it? Or would it make sense that they built the foundation first and then put these things on top? I don't know. As a beacon, energy could be energy flows. It could be to let beings know where they are. I don't know. I'm just saying, what if that's the case? And what if there is life inside the earth? We ain't been down there. How do we know it's a molten core? I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just asking. It ebbs and flows. Exactly. Just a thought. So, do I believe that there's something under the pyramids? Absolutely. Do I believe that the ancient Egyptians built the pyramids? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't think so. I think the pyramids were there before them. I think they found them. And I think that maybe there's so many traps and booby traps all over the pyramids, not so that you can't get the Pharaoh's goods, but because they don't want you to get down to the inner earth. Maybe they are there as entrances to these vast cities under earth. And they don't want regular folk coming down there smoking cigarettes and dropping Dorito bag chips and trying to come down there and conquer stuff. And, maybe when the aliens that we see, or let me not say aliens because they make it seem sci-fi, the UAPs that we see flying in and out of the ocean, maybe that's where they're going. I don't know, friends. I do not know, friends. Y'all gonna have to tell me what y'all think about that. Y'all gonna have to, if y'all believe that this pyramid is just the surface of something that's way deep down in the earth, put a 1 in the chat. If you think it's a bunch of hocus pocus and malarkey, put a 2 in the chat. I totally agree, because even when the houses, the basement is built first. I believe the underground part was built first in the pyramids. Exactly. Okay, we got a few ones in the chat. Okay, friends. So we on the same boat together. I mean, if you want to build your house and then go dig out a basement, that's on you. But I would like to think the foundation has to be set first. And they even talk about the Sphinx having being more. Like there's supposed to be some type of library in the Sphinx, underneath the Sphinx, that tells us all of what's going on and how the pyramids was built. I just think that if I made such a creation as grand as the pyramids, they have stood the test of time. These pyramids were here when Jesus was here. I use Jesus as a reference because we think that Jesus was so far ago, or so long ago, which he was, which was 2,000 years ago. But these things were already ancient when he was on the scene. Okay? And the Egyptian empire was still there. Right? So you have to really ask yourself, who built this? And why did they stop building it? If this worked out so good and it was so successful and it is these mega structures, why would they stop building it? It's still there today. And there's pyramids everywhere you go in different cultures. Everywhere you go. You can go to South America, pyramids. There's pyramids in America. There's pyramids on the African continent, of course, because Egypt is where it is in Africa. There are pyramids everywhere. Some of them are piles of rubble. They mustn't have no basement in theirs because these are still standing up. These are still standing up. And I just think that history would have us believe that they cut it from a rock quarry 500 miles away and they drug it on tree logs that they rounded off to be like makeshift wheels with 100,000 slaves all in one spot, pulling brick by brick with precision. And they said, well, it was driven by the slaves thinking that they were going to be harmed and all that stuff. I don't care what y'all say. If you gave me a math equation today and told me, I'm going to take your life, if you don't, baby, you might well go on and get me done. I don't care how much fear it is. I will sit here all day and night. It depends. Now, I could do a quick, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. But some of that other stuff, when you start adding and subtracting B's and C's and D's and Z's, give me a measuring stick. I can do geometry. So I don't think that the precision of the pyramids was dictated by the fear that the people had. I don't think so. Have you heard about the Black Pyramid in Alaska? I have, but Tay, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I ain't done enough research on that to even talk about it. But because you brought it up, let me get my handy dandy notebook. Supposedly, like it's buried under the, I don't know, girl. Hold on. Black Pyramids or pyramid in Alaska. Cause I'll forget as soon as I hang up this phone. But yeah, I'm gonna look it up, friend. It's insane. And are they distracting us? Maybe. Can they be distracting us with the truth? Possibly. Can they be giving us little bits and pieces of information at a time? Absolutely. I just think the way that we've gotten as a society now, that if somebody came out and told us the truth, the powers that be can just let it run, because we're going to say it's AI. If they put a camera down there and went down or dug up the pyramids and showed us it's some more down there, we still would be like, oh, that's AI. Not real. We wouldn't believe it. To show us a UAP, that's AI. It's not real. The same satellites taking pictures of Jupiter's storm took a picture up underneath the pyramid. Not real. It's probably AI. We so hurt as a people, child. We don't believe nothing. We don't trust nobody. And the things that we do trust ought to be a lie, like thinking it's okay to eat red dye. Number 4. I don't know. Anyway, friends, I'm not even gonna get on that. I'm not gonna get on that. I just came back, like I said, from my little mini vacation, little getaway that I had to go and clear my mind, and have a good time. And now I'm gonna go get some rest because I gotta work in the morning. And I do want to get some more videos and content out for y'all to consume, because we got things we need to talk about. And this stuff right here, where they think that we too ignorant to understand, it's crazy. I can't confirm or deny, friends. Right. Lied to. St. Julia, we've been lied to, not for decades, forever. I won't even say forever, because I think that people like the ancient Mayans, the Aztecs, like, I feel like they knew what was going on. I feel like, yeah, in the past couple of 100 years, maybe even 400 years, 600, ever since colonization in the United States, which is, you know what, but let me just say this before I end. It is normal for any place who has been colonized by people who are not native to the land to change history. It is normal for them to come in and erase everything that was there before, because that's what happened when you conquer a land. You're not going to leave pictures up of the people who ruled the land before you conquered it. You're going to take it down. That's true for any country, any land, anything in history. So there have been a lot of things that have been changed to fit the narrative. And honestly, all it takes is for one person to throw out a theory about something when no one else knows about it, and people are going to run to try and prove that theory. That's what they've done in the past. Well, now when you throw a theory out, they run to try and disprove it, right? That's how you prove now that it's real. If you cannot disprove it, then it becomes a fact. But back then, if everybody came together collectively and tried to make the theory be true, then it was true. They say that there was a Big Bang that happened, right? The Big Bang happened and created all these galaxies. And they say that the earlier galaxies should be small and misshapen, like deformed. But then we find out here recently, within the last year, when we use the Webb Hubble telescope, that the earlier galaxies are larger than the galaxies that we see, not say today, but the more recent ones. Now, how could that be true if the theory of the Big Bang is the way they say it went? You get what I'm saying? There are so many different things that we're finding out today with the technology that we have, but we just stick to what we've been told for a long time. I hope that statement I just made sense to y'all. But basically, the earlier galaxies were supposed to be strange, small, misshapen, deformed, and they find out that they're not strange and small, misshapen, and deformed, but they're huge, and they're actually galaxies that are so big that it can contain multiple galaxies in one. And we think there's no other life out there. Again, none of these scientific things that we're talking about here disproves God. I think that we get confused and think that everything that has happened in life has only been in the Bible. We can't contain all of history in the Bible. The Bible is used to help teach us and guide us on the way you should conduct yourself as a loving human being. That's it. That's to teach you that, to give you something to stand on, because if you don't have no foundation, you're going to sink. Unlike these pyramids, they got a foundation, because they're not sinking significantly to the point where we don't see them no more. Because these the same pyramids that were standing supposedly 6,000 years ago when they was built. But who knows, child? Because Sumer ain't got no pyramids, and they were older civilization, apparently, according to this. But there's so much stuff out there, so many things out there that don't quite make sense. Anyway, friends, I'm gonna end the live, and we're gonna plan to try to run this like a show. But y'all keep in mind that I work just like y'all work, cause we all got to work. Cause baby, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on from one day to the next, child. And all I say, Lord, keep me. But you know, we all got to work, cause we all got to eat. And but I will make it my business to prioritize our friendship. Okay, friends. Are y'all okay with that? Foundation is the key in all things. Absolutely. All right, friends. Well, I really hope I didn't get y'all up in too much of a tizzy, and I'm going to call y'all back later on. Okay, friends? Bye.